So, given all 16 of them, I'm really curious of the countries that I want to go potentially be at and travel to. What would that be? So let's go first look at Japan, which is the lowest on my list of the East Asian countries. So with Japan, I see that all the lists that we saw, two of them are on there, ENFP and INFP. I am very surprised the NFP are in Japan. Have you ever thought about where you should live based on personality? So in Asia, they actually did a study where they actually have a lot of MBTI tests, Myers-Briggs personality test. If you don't know, it basically break you into different personality types, 16 different personality types. So based on the study, it tells you ones are the most dominant within each country. And within, so now I'll look at every single traits and see which countries have the most dominant personality in those types, or the most number. And of course, the most of the ones I'm interested in see, hey, my East Asia region, but I'm really curious in all of Asia, which of those personality types actually dominates in each of those countries across the entire region in Asia. So let's do that. And I'm looking to be surprised. So, first of all, we have ENFP, which is my personality type. So, I believe that, oh, look at the countries. First is Laos, 15% of the population are that. Then Sri Lanka, 14%. Bhutan, never been there before, 13%. And Japan, 13%, 0.79. But I don't believe I'm very surprised because a lot all Japanese people are very introverted and all they want to do is do individual stuff. So I'm very surprised that ENFP is on there because I kind of don't want to be in Japan long term. But maybe after this, I'll change my mind. But we'll see. They have a lot of other stuff going on too, especially for guys. It's a very good place because it's a very patriarchal society. So being a guy, you get a lot more benefits than being a girl in that country. So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe I should reconsider on my opinion for Japan. The next one we have is ESFP. So you see number one is Malaysia, number two is Singapore, number three Indonesia, number four is Laos. It seems that ESFP is one of those regions that's mainly in Southeast Asia. So between ESFP with Southeast Asia. Now, next one we have ESTP. Number one is Afghanistan. Number two is Kyrgyzstan. Number three is Lebanon. Number four is Kazakhstan. I've never been to any of those countries, so I'm just gonna skip right now. Next, ISFP. Number one is Singapore. Number two, Brunei. Number three is Malaysia. And number four is China. Wow, so it seems a mix of all the regions, Southeast Asia and China. You know, I almost went to Brunei. Brunei, I may have pronounced it incorrectly. But I decided to not go. You know why? I realized there are certain countries I don't enjoy in. So if the dominant religion is of a specific type, like in Malaysia or Indonesia, I don't have fun there. And Brunei, I have the same religion there. So I realized, yeah, I was going to go there, changed my mind, and went to Vietnam instead for that trip. So anyways, next we have ISTP. Look at that, China came again. Number one is Afghanistan, number two Myanmar, China, then Bangladesh. But you can see the percentage is kind of low. Maybe the ISTP people are just very rare. I wonder. Then we have ESTJ. So you can see we have Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, and Iran. Never been to any of those countries, so I'm gonna skip. Then we have ESFJ. So you can see with ESFJ, number one is Bhutan, number two is Cambodia, number three is Oman, and number four is Thailand. So I like Thailand, but I think I like the part because it's very extroverted and feeling. They're very passionate. I can definitely see that. I definitely would. I think that's one thing I really like about Thailand. And then in terms of being logical and realistic, and maybe that's why you see all these stories about Thai bar girls having multiple boyfriends, and then you try to get cash from them, and that's completely normal in that country. So maybe they're very realistic compared to other countries. Anyways, next, then we have ISFJ. Well, look at that. Pretty much China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong is there. So Singapore is there too. It makes sense. Singapore number one, 11%, Hong Kong 10%, Taiwan 9%, China 9%. I guess it all makes sense because the biggest population in Singapore is Chinese. So if you're ISFJ, that means you resonate with those values. It's kind of interesting that Taiwan is that close to China. Yeah, I know I shouldn't be having separate flags for Hong Kong and Taiwan. They're part of China, but whatever. It's what's Chinese government going to do to me? I'm not a citizen there, so they're gonna cancel me. They won't let me do business there. It's okay. It's fine. I will just make sure that to avoid China for a very long time until something else happens. So anyways, next, ISTJ. You see that here is Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan. I know I've never been there, so I'm gonna skip. But I should go there eventually. Next, we have ENFJ, Lebanon 9%, Sri Lanka 8.89, Pakistan 8.42, Palestine 8.39. Never been to any of those countries either, so I'm going to skip as well. There's nothing for me to give comments on. Now, next we have INFP. 1 is Maldives, 2nd is Brunei, number 3 is Nepal, and number 4 is Japan. Hey, now that makes a lot more sense, the introverted part. But I'm still very surprised at NFP. I would imagine Japan to be more realistic than anything else. So something I need to change, something's going on. Maybe I'm hanging out with the wrong people when I go to Japan. So it's time for a change, I think. Then I have INFJ. Number 1 is Maldives, number 2 is Brunei, number 3 is Israel. Oh my god, number 4 is Philippines. I love Philippines. And Israel, oh man, look at the war that's going on between Israel and Pakistan. It's ridiculous. I guess I won't be going there anytime soon. Oh, just looking, I guess the Philippines is the closest thing. Maldives haven't been there, but we'll see what happens. I heard it's pretty good for scuba diving, so maybe I'll go there for the scuba diving. Since it's N and F, 2 of my letters, it might be okay. Actually no, because Brunei is also one of those, but anyways, so we'll see. Anyway, next, ENTP, number 1 is Syria, number 2 is Lebanon, number 3 is Turkey, and number 4 is Georgia. I've never been to any of those countries, so I'm just going to skip. Next, ENTJ, we have Syria, number 2 Armenia, number 3 Uzbekistan, and number 4 Palestine. I've never been to those countries either. I guess I'll skip again. Next, INTP, Georgia, Iraq, Turkey, and Syria. I feel like maybe those are personality types I will not get along with because I haven't been to any of those countries. I have an interest in going there. So we'll see, maybe I'll ask my friends to see what their personality types are. Then I have INTJ, Syria, number 1, Georgia, Iraq, and Armenia. So those are also some of the ones that I've never been to at all, but but I really like INTJs, so maybe I will like those countries. Maybe we'll see. So given all 16 of them, I'm really curious of the countries that I want to go potentially be at and travel to. What would that be? So let's go first look at Japan, which is the lowest on my list of the East Asian countries. So with Japan, I see that all the lists that we saw, 2 of them are on there. ENFP and INFP. I am very surprised the NFP are in Japan. I would imagine to be more like IS, like TJ. They're so systematical and everything. So the fact that they're P very surprises me. A lot of our P's surprises me a lot. So yeah, that's not. I might need to delve deeper. Maybe because I'm a foreigner in Japan, so I will never get to access the real stuff within the community. But anyways, but I might have to not cross that off my list now, given that this is new information. Now, the next one, we can have China. So it seems looking at all three personalities that if you're I and S, yeah, China will fit well for you. So I, S, completely different from me. The F part is there, it's okay. The P is there, it's fine. But I think I'm in a type. I think it's one of the ISFJ, ISTP, and ISFP. So you can see that, hey, it's not a bad place for Chinese people, for IS people, actually. And looking at Taiwan, only ISFJ came up. So maybe that's why when I go to Taiwan, even though it's great, I still feel a bit out of place. So next, then we have Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, same as Taiwan. I guess it makes sense since they both try to rebel against China, but they're also part of China. So they have a unique, distinct personality of them. So, all right. But the thing is, I'm very surprised is my favorite East Asian country did not show up at all. Like, where the hell is Korea? Like, literally, where is it? So I think I need to do more research on that. It's because there's no way, one of my favorite countries is not on the list. That is not possible. So I'll delve deeper into that in the next area, potentially. But for now, I would say, yeah, hopefully after this video, China will not come after me in any way or fashion, because just look at what happened to, twice, right? And a 16-year-old Jewy posted a flag, they got super like canceled on her. So now the fact that I put different flags of Taiwan, Hong Kong, man, I might be being a rude awakening too. But I'm not that famous, so they probably didn't get into me until maybe later. And one thing about Chinese people, they hold grudges, and when they hold grudges, they never let go. Right? Just think about Google. What did Google do? Google said, "F you, we're not going to do business with you." Ever since then, China was like holding that grudge. Google just cannot tap into that Chinese market. Apple is fine, Meta is fine, the old Facebook, but Google, man, once they cross Chinese people, you're pretty much effed. Chinese people, if you screw with them, they'll remember it for the rest of their life. There's no like forgive and forget. They will remember it, and they will wait until the opportune time and make sure you suffer. So hopefully this video will not bring the same wrath onto me. So we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you subscribe and know that if you're Asia, which country you should visit based on your personality. If you want to be with people like yourself. Otherwise, go somewhere else.